Terry here again. Last night, my wife and I attended a family gathering at someone's home where a bunch of cousins gathered, cousins on my dad's side. A seemingly simple event, but so many of those cousins I did not know very well, just met in latter years, because on my dad's side there was a rift, a tension that was there. And I understand some of the roots of it and so on, but because my dad's generation had these tensions, they didn't interact. They stayed mostly separate. So there were these divisions that went on. And I was talking with somebody at that gathering, a cousin, and we're just talking about how amazing it was that we were all sitting around this living room, kitchen area, just talking very comfortably. And that in some respects, it took a generation to get past that division, to get past that tension, that separation, those walls that had been built. And we celebrated that. We recognized that was that's been a wonderful healing that took place. And this morning it reminded me of a morning I was part of a men's breakfast type group at a church called Hope Church here in Holland, Michigan. And the topic of that morning was the whole issue of homosexuality, which has become an issue in churches. And some of the men there have children that have self-identified as homosexual. And we were talking about the tension or the division that's been causing in churches, and how conservative people don't feel comfortable with it. And one older gentleman who I consider to be quite wise, just the way he reacts to things. He said, "Oh, this is going to be a 1 or 2 generation thing." And we asked him what he meant by that. He said, "Our generation is uncomfortable with homosexuality, don't understand it, have decided that it's wrong." And says, "My kids are the next generation that says, oh, they don't feel as uncomfortable because they know folks." And he says, "When I talk to my grandkids, it's no big deal at all. I mean, why are we even talking about it? Some folks are homosexual, some are trans, and so on. It's just part of life. It's not an issue." He says, "Oh yeah, this is a 1 or 2 generation thing to get past." He says we've dealt with that substantially, not completely, certainly, with women in leadership and all those gender type divisions and so on. He says that our generation took that to a next step. And he says, and for racial, I don't know how many generations that will take. It's a confusing thing. But it occurred to me, sitting with my cousins last night, that we were fortunate that it was a 1 generation healing that needed to take place. Sometimes it takes patience. It means certainly continuing to live into, not just saying, we won't worry about it for our generation. No, doing what we can in our generation, but also having hope that generation after generation will find some barriers coming down, some healings taking place, some perspectives that expand and go beyond the boundaries that we have now. So it gives me hope to think about gathering with cousins last night, getting to know them, and whatever the divisions were caused by, knowing that they're there, but saying it's not as important to us. I hope you have hope too, that just with time some things heal as long as we keep applying ourselves, or as someone once put it, each generation we need to put our shoulder to this big wheel and just keep it turning, keep things moving, keep the process going, and have hope over the longer term. Have a wonderful day.